Hello, happy Thursday, Internet. Kind of different time tonight for my breakaway stream, solo board game stream. Had a bit of normally on Thursday nights I coach a rugby team, but considering that it is Pride weekend in Toronto, we had the week off, and my partner Stuart is off on a business trip, so I decided to give this stream a try on Thursday instead, see how we do. And so last week I picked up a couple of games. If you follow my Twitter, you saw that I picked up a couple of really good ones from Stronghold Games. And today we are playing, well, I am playing Space Cadets Away Missions. It's a 1950s sci-fi based sort of tactical exploration and combat game. Which I did the introductory mission 2 nights ago, last night, which was primarily combat focused. And I'm going to try the second mission, which is a little bit more involved. So let's hop right into it. Let's see how we're looking here. All right, so here we have our intrepid crew. We've got Captain Ben Riggs, Chief Lance DeSoto, Professor Russell Pelham, and First Officer Annie Fletcher. They are currently in some sort of alien jail cell. They're trying to rescue some slaves from the aliens. I'm not going to read the whole setup. It's actually kind of a long blurb here for the whole setup of this, and you can't help but read it in a William Shatner kind of voice when you do. It's like a Captain's Log type thing. So the goal here is to find the elevator, which is one of the corner 6 tiles, and acquire enough wiring from having either subdued or what else do you do? There's these thrall things. Either subdue them or rescue them. The thralls, you get some wiring. We get six wire tokens, and then find the elevator and get out. Basically, is the goal here. Each tile represents an individual square, which will have to every character is going to have to scan one of these tiles on every activation. There's a number of little tokens on them, and the ones there's an alien tile on absolutely every single one that's going to tell us what aliens we spawn on those tiles. And then there's Rocketeer tokens. These are primary equipment. Considering they all start right now with the infiltration, everybody starts with just a simple air knife. And then on the outside, there are Discovery tokens, which are other upgrades that they could potentially pick up. So I'm not going to spend too long with the explanation here. We're just going to dive pretty much right in. Because I'm not sure exactly how the scenario is going, I picked 4 characters. It's going to be a little bit more fiddly for me, but it should provide me with a few options. So right now, I don't know if you can tell from the overhead. So every single exit to this tile has a hatch on it, which means that they have to be opened before any of these guys can go through them. Most of the aliens can ignore the hatches, but the crew have to obey the opened or closed hatches. So because of that, I'm going to activate the professor first. So there's a small order scan token. So we're going to put his order token there. He's going to be number 1. We'll just go ahead with his action. So the first thing that any character does is going to scan, which means you're going to take the nearest tile and you're going to flip it over and show what's behind it. So we'll take this tile here. First off, we've got the aliens. There is a ray gun and a teleradio, which is the captain's special equipment. And we flip the tile over, and there's an arrow indicating the direction that it needs to be pointing. So that tile faces this way. And we put this equipment here. And it says on the alien tile here, I'll just move to close up cam here, and you also can see the. Whoops, that's the other. The sparkly dice D10s that it comes with. They're all really neat and sparkly. But this is what the tile says. So it says 2 saucer men and 1 bug. Now the instructions for this particular scenario. Whoops. This particular scenario indicate that when we do turn it over, we replace the first alien with a single thrall. Thralls are humans that have been humans that have been taken over by the aliens. So we've got the thrall there in the space right next to the slave cells, and these are the things that we're intending to rescue. Now, the second one was a bug. Now, bugs come out of ventilation systems. I should leave the thralls out. A lot of them. Those over there. Bugs come out of ventilation systems, but we haven't found a vent yet, so no bug will spawn. So put that token. So that was the scan. We'll go ahead and move the scan token over, and now the doctor gets to take his actions. The doctor has a special action. He can perform a free hatch, open hatch, or lock hatch ability. So that's kind of useful when he takes actions. He also has a very high IQ, which is what you need in order to rescue the thralls. So now the problem is we've got two hatches between the doctor and the thrall, meaning that he can't, without using some oxygen, which is an option, is these tiles down here, these cubes down here. He's not going to be able to actually, which he'll probably end up having to do. He's not going to be able to actually help the thrall. So with this first AP, we're going to open this hatch, the closest one. So I'm going to put an open hatch icon there. Second AP, he's going to once again open the next hatch. Hatch is open. He's then going to move into the space with the thrall. We're going to pick up the ray gun for him so that he can replace his knife. Go here. So he probably isn't going to use the knife at all anymore. It's not useful in this scenario. It would collect alien blood, but there's no use for it in this current scenario. So now he's got a ray gun. He's going to leave the teleradio down for the captain when he moves in here. And then, so that was the movement was his third action, and then he's going to use 1 oxygen to take his fourth action, which will be to attempt to subdue this particular thrall. I just want to double check here because thrall subduing was not part. IQ checks were not part of the last. Okay, so it's an IQ check, so that means we're going to roll dice equal to the doctor's IQ, which is 5. He's extremely smart, so we are going to roll 5 dice. And so anything a 1, 2, or a 3 is a success. Anything else is a failure. We've got a 2. That's it. So now, if I had additional success, and I know you can't see that, but that's a 9 there. That's kind of unfortunate for this dice. That's a 9. So we only have the 1 success, which is a 2, which means I can subdue the thrall. If you roll more than 1 success, it doesn't give you more successes. It gives you what's called an overkill option. And there are several different overkill options that you can use that pay to use that dice. There is one that you can use for the enemy itself, or there's one that the doctor can do, or there's one. There are some for the equipment that you have. But because I only have this one, I'm going to subdue the thrall. So you can't actually attack thralls. You can only attack aliens. Thralls are humans. So the thrall is subdued, and I will gain 1 wire as a result. So we got a piece of wire for the doctor. But without the, if I had had an overkill, I could then rescue the thrall, which would give me a person as a bonus. But unfortunately, not able to rescue him. So, but at least you've got one piece of wire. So 1 down, 5 to go. Next. See, do I want to? Let's go ahead and activate the captain. The captain's special ability for overkill is he has the ability to give other people extra actions. So I like activating him early as well. Since we got this tile, we're going to move over to this one here. So the hatches are going to be a bit tricky, but for aliens, we're going to have 1 thrall, 1 leader, and 1 saucer man. So we got 1 thrall. Should have taken these out of the baggies. To show you the close-ups here, the miniatures are actually quite good. There's actually some variety even to the saucer men. The good thing I activated the captain too, because that means that we're probably going to end up in some combat here. So we've got a thrall here in the middle. This is a human. We've got a leader, and we've got saucer man right here. We've also got another ray gun and a reference book, which is an IQ boost, which will make it easier to subdue thralls. We'll turn it over, and excellent, good tile here, because we don't have any hatches. Well, we've already got some open hatches, so we can use that to move into the space. So our scan's done, and now we move on to the captain's actions. All right. Now, unfortunately, actually, so what we're going to do is the first action the captain's going to take is he is going to move into this room. And we're going to freely exchange the ray gun between the doctor and the captain. It's a free. There's no use, no need for an action for that. We're going to give the captain the ray gun, and then we are going to use the second action to shoot into this room. We're going to target the leader first. The leader has the ability to move the saucermen with them, so we don't really want to have that happen. So on the ray gun card, you can see that there's 2 icons. It is a 5 if you're in the same space. 3 actually. The second action is probably going to be to move into this. Oh. So first, I will fire. So at a range of 2, I roll 2 hexes. I roll 3 dice. And I had 0 successes. That's an 8 there. Oh yeah, you can see it. That no successes there. So that is a complete whiff. So let's do it again. Not much better. We do have 1 success, so that means we can kill 1. So I will take out the leader. And unfortunately, I did not gain any. I did not manage to get an overkill in there, which is what I really could have used. Now, do I want to take? Question here is, oh yeah, I had music too. I decided to find some appropriately 1950s style sci-fi music. I'll probably end up getting distracted, but these are all like cartoon songs that everybody pretty much knows very well. So do I want to use another oxygen, because we're going to start getting overwhelmed pretty quickly here, or do I want to try something else? No, you know what? I think I'm going to end it there, and we're going to move on to. Let's move on to Lance Chief Lance DeSoto because I want, Annie's got a higher IQ, so I'm going to want her to subdue any thralls that we might run into. And just to keep things going around here, we're going to hit this. We're going to scan this one. 2 saucermen and a bug. So no saucermen, and there's no bugs because we don't have a vent. Oh, I've got a circle going on here. And we have another ray gun. So, yeah, see, totally distracted by the music already. So we've got a thrall in here. Our scan is complete. And then we will move on to actions. I got to remember, too, most of these guys have an action, that their overkill action they can actually just take on their own. I got to remember to be able to do that when the scenario comes up. So let's see here. First action, we will be to move into this room here. Generally, we're trying to keep people together. What does the captain's teleradio do? Can use command on Rocketeers any time. Okay, so that means I can give on any tile. That means I can give commands to other Rocketeers at any time. So useful. So he's going to pick up the teleradio and basically give it to the captain. Out. Yeah, we're going to give him the ray gun. And he's going to use his next action to, that's not him. He's going to step into this room here. For the simple reason that if he can use his overkill action, he can take another attack as long as it's the same line of sight. So, same range. And the pistol's only got a range of 2. The ray gun's only got a range of 2. So first he's going to go after the, oh, that's right. Never mind. He can only kill the, he's going to stay back here. You can't, we can't hurt thralls. We can only hurt, saucermen right now. So we're going to take second one's going to be an attack. We've got 1 success, so that'll kill the saucerman. So we won't have to worry about that so much. The last action that the chief has, unfortunately, is a combat action. So he can only use it to actually perform a combat action, which is unfortunate. So he can't really use that for anything else. Again, not keen at the moment to use any additional oxygen at the moment. So let's move right on to First Officer Annie Fletcher. And since everybody's here, we're going to scan this tile here. So it's going to have a tools and a saucerman, a thrall, and a leech. And again, once again, we've got a ring going around here. So this will have 2 thralls. And the tools go down here, and a leech, which is a new one on me as well. But we got these horrific kind of looking worm thingies. Gross. That one will go right there. All right. And let me take a look at what the leech does here. Leech. Space leech. Cannot move through closed hatches. Can move and attack in the same turn. Space leech is added by over. Wow. The Rocketeers lose one IQ, minus one IQ per space with the same leech in the tile. So that's kind of annoying. So what we're going to have our first officer do is she's going to move here and then here. We're going to give her we're going to have her pick up both the ray gun and the reference book. So the reference book will give her plus one IQ, which will give her 5 to roll, and then the ray gun, of course, to defend herself when stuff happens. So those are first 2 actions. Her third action will be to attempt an IQ check on this zombie here, the Sorrel here. Let's see if we can recover. I'm going to switch to colored dice that are easier to read here. All right, so we're rolling a 5. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 successes. Excellent. So 3 successes means that I can do. So let's start. We subdue the thrall, and we will. So that gives us first officer a wire. We're going to spend 1. So the first success is to subdue. The second is going to be to rescue, which means that we will now take a bonus rescue thrall card, which is the co-ed. She gives her ability is the good luck kiss. Highly appropriate. I would say maybe first officer Annie Fletcher swings both ways. Good luck kiss. Plus 2 dice for any action. Very useful. Can only be used twice though. So we're going to put the co-ed. You can't see it, unfortunately. Let's see if maybe I switch my head over here. No. So we're going to put the co-ed down and with 2 cubes on it, her, so that we will know when to use her. Oh, the reference book also has 3 uses. So we got these green cubes here. Maybe on close up 2. Let's shift it over. So we have these green cubes here. These indicate how many uses of a particular item we have. And the using an item is a free action. It doesn't cost any AP to do. So at any time we can use that. So we have a second wire, and we have another rescue thrall. Do I want to take an additional action? Oh, we still have an overkill. Give 1 free move action to self or Rocketeer in the same tile. Move action must be used. Yeah, that's absolutely. Let's just use it to move her right here. And let's spend an oxygen to make another IQ check here. We're going to use one of the uses of the reference book. All over the place. And we've got 1, 2, and once again 1, 2, 3 successes. So 1 to subdue and 1 to rescue. So thrall's gone. We get another wire. And let's see what we get as a rescue thrall. We get the cowboy. Now that is 1 ornery critter, 1 free attack per turn, 1 die, range 1. It's okay. It's pingy, I guess. Gives a little bit of extra offense going. And we still have 1 overkill, which means what we're going to use that is she's going to pick up the ray gun as well, hand it to somebody else, and use that overkill to move back to this space. We'll let everybody now have to deal with the aliens. So now all 4 of my Rocketeers have taken their turns. The 3 aliens will now take their actions. It's their order of their sentience. The Space Leeches are 6th, and the Thralls are 5th. So Thralls will act first. They will basically move into the spaces. And they can't attack in the same turn. And I do believe there is a limitation to how many. And we can only have 5 things in one pile. Let me double check here. The book is quite thick, very detailed, but it's sometimes difficult to look up specific things. Shimmy a little bit here while I look through here. Oh dear, it's gonna be stuck in my head for a while. No, there doesn't appear to be a limit. So I don't say limit. There is something about the limit of bugs that can be in the game. So the Thralls have moved and they can't attack in the same turn, so they're just going to stand there gormlessly. Now the Leech will move into the same square as well and will do can attack in the same turn. So they have 3 dice for attack. And they will attack the person with the highest HP. The lowest move. The lowest move order. So that will be Chief Lance DeSoto. So we got a hit, nothing more. And that's about it. So he does that 1 damage, so we get 1 HP off of our Chief. Come on, switch. And now we got a fairly crowded tile here. And we are back to the Rocketeer's turn. The issue here, though, is now that these hatches are closed, which is fine because we're probably not going to go back into that room. Our AP's reset, and we take our scan orders back. We're going to be doing things slightly differently this time. All right, so first thing we need to deal with is this Leech, because it immediately reduces the HP of the IQ of everybody in this square. The teleradio has been actually picked up. So we are going to start with Chief. And we need to scan, so we're gonna. It has to be close, right? Well, they're the same distance, so we're gonna scan this one. We got a Saucerman, a Thrall, and a Leech again, and a headset, which is for the first officer. Oh, and we now have a vent, which just means that bugs, if they do spawn, will spawn. So 2 Thralls, Oops. Thrall was hugging. Another leech. Now, the good thing here is that thralls and leeches can't go through hatches. They don't know how to operate them. So even if we have to leave these guys there for a little while, the open hatch is not going to do anything to them. So now, Chief, you're going to use your ray gun, and you're going to blast away at this leech here. They're in the same square, so his power is 5. All right, we got 1, 2, 3 successes. So we're definitely blasting away. The leech is gone. The leech's overkill option is revulsion, which is to take another shot at another leech, but there is no leech in range. The overkill option for the chief is to inflict a free hit on any target in line of sight, which he can't do because he can't attack thralls. But he can immediately move using the overkill option on the ray gun. We're probably just gonna not do those actions. Actually, we're probably just not going to do that at all this time. So what do the tools do? Tools reroll any IQ action. If the reroll fails, discard the tools. So we're going to use. Actually, we are going to use his overkills to run here. Pick up the tools, and then use the second one to come back. Oh no, can't use. Can you use a second time? Overkill's an interesting concept, but yep, can use it multiple times. So he's coming back. So he moved in and out. He brought the tools with him. He's going to hand the tools over to the professor, who could probably use that. That was just one action. So he might as well go ahead and try to subdue a. That's not going to be great because he's only got an IQ of 2, but he can go ahead and try to subdue one of the thralls. No success there. And his last action has to be a combat action. That's not really a combat action, I don't think, anyway. So we're just going to leave it at that for the chief. Next, we need to get rid of these thralls here, so we're going to activate the doctor. Oh, sorry, the professor. There's a doctor. He's not in this particular one. Welcome to the channel, AlbC91. Currently I hope about halfway through the scenario. Trying to get some thralls rescued here. So Professor's got to scan a tile. We're going to pick this one here. Actually, it's got to be closest, right? So it's going to have to be this one of these ones. I don't like any of these now. Let's try. Well, we've got to find the elevator, so let's try this one over here. Now, the problem with the ones on the outside is that they do not result in thralls. These result in elevators. Excellent. This will not result in thralls being generated. This will just result in the regular enemies. So we have 2 saucer men. I have the 1 before, so we got 2 saucer men and 1 bug. There are rules about bugs too. Bug spawning, so they have to come out of a vent. Okay, so that they're not a swarm yet. There's only one of them. So where are the bugs here? So he's going to come out. This bug's going to come out of this vent here. And we also have an effect of unreasonable fear. Which is, where are you? Unreasonable fear. All Rocketeers suffer panic. Ignore this event in games with more than 4 Rocketeers. A Rocketeer may only suffer panic once per game turn, so everybody loses an oxygen. So I guess our first officer and our professor are not going to be using any additional oxygen soon. Oh, and I just realized that did I take the ray gun off somebody and use it? You can't do that. It's been used in a turn. All right, so now on. So we've completed the scan with the doctor. Let's move on to his actions, which is going to be to attempt to subdue these 2 thralls. So with an IQ of 5. So for the first subdue, we have no successes. So we will be using the toolkit to reroll. Sorry, I was going to get rid of these white ones for the moment. There we go. All right, so we have 1 success. So the toolkit stays intact. And so we've got a subdued thrall, sadly not rescued. So now we have a total of 4 wire. We need 2 more. For his second action, we are going to go ahead and do another subdue action. Oh, hey, Ash. Oh, hi. And unfortunately failed again. So we're going to use the toolkit. And this time, again, 2 successes this time. So we will get to both subdue and rescue this thrall. How you doing? So this thrall here has been subdued, so we'll take him off the board. We get another piece of wire. So we're 1 away from being able to get out of here. And because I rescued this particular thrall, let's see who they turned out to be. They turned out to be somebody's long-lost brother. He can take a hit. He can take 1 hit instead of one of the Rocketeers. Mom always liked you best. Test run? Test run for what? We did a test run for the app, using an app with the games on Sunday. Oh, for this game, pretty good actually. This is Space Cadets. It's actually away missions. It's actually kind of a lot of fun. A lot moves pretty quickly once you get the idea. Right. So Professor's got 1 more non-combat action. There's no thralls left to mesmerize. He could potentially, you know what? Let's use. He's going to use his talent, override a talent, to lock this hatch. So this means that the thralls, sorry, not the thralls, the saucermen that are in the elevator at the moment are not going to be able to immediately exit. So we can hold off on having to worry about them for a little while everybody else takes their actions. Next in order, we are going to activate the. Let's activate First Officer Annie Fletcher. And she is going to scan this tile here. Oh dear. That's what I was worried about. We've just opened up us. The alien tile is the Sentinel. The Sentinel is the toughest alien in the game. Let me give you a close up of that. That's the Sentinel. He is ugly AF. It's kind of both. Like it's sort of serious and lighthearted simultaneously. It spoofs on, not spoofs. It sort of homages the 1950s pulp sci-fi. So it's kind of got that Lost in Space kind of feel of the TV show. You know, it's sort of campy, but it's taking itself seriously anyway. And there's a time warp item in there, which is very useful. And unfortunately, nothing blocking the Sentinel from going after this pile of squishy Rocketeers. And sadly, as well, our Yeoman is not in a good position to. Sorry, not Yeoman. A bit like 60s Doctor Who, a bit. Yeah, something like that. Like if you're. Yeah, it if you start reading like you saw, Mom Always Like You Best. One of the thralls that I rescued was a cowboy. Yeah, it doesn't take itself it doesn't take itself too seriously. Okay, so the big problem we have right now is that uh, Annie Fletcher, who's here, um, can't really do anything very useful from her position. She's only got one combat AP possibility here. Um, so, well, let's try to do some damage to this Sentinel here before it runs amok on us. So we're going to move. She's going to move with the rest of the group, and she's going to take a shot at the Sentinel. And we're going to get a kiss for good luck from the co-ed that she has. So we're going to take a cube off the co-ed card, who's giving her a good luck kiss that will add 2 dice to her action. So it's going to give me 5 to roll because it's a range 1 attack with the ray gun. We've got a 3, that's a success. A 1 is a success. Another 3 is also a success. Excellent. All right, so so that still only results in 1 hit, despite having 3 successes. But allows me to use some overkill options. So the overkill option on the Sentinel is to stagger. The Sentinel would have -2 attack dice for the rest of the turn, and it normally gets 6. So I think we're definitely going to spend one of those overkills to stagger the Sentinel. So he will only roll 4 dice if he attacks. So let's just for shits and giggles. Annie's also got the cowboy, who gives her 1 free attack per turn at 1 die at 1 range. So let's see if we can put another he needs 4 HP to kill it. So let's see if we can put another dent in that. Sadly, no. 5 is not a success. It's a 1, 2, or a 3. So the cowboy was kind of useless there. So now Annie has one more action to take. And I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to... Let's move the doctor out of here. So we're going to use her talent move out to move, the professor to this square here, just in case I don't really want him potentially squished at all. And that does it for Annie's turn. So last but not least is Captain Ben Riggs. And we're going to start with a scan. And the only tile we can scan right now, the closest one is this one here. So first of all, aliens, we got 2 saucer men and a bug. We're also going to find a telepathy band in there. And that's open, wide open. Where are the saucer men? So we now got a lot of enemies on the board. Bad timing on that sentinel. So the bug comes out of the vent there. And now we have the captain's activation. Now the captain, unfortunately, also does not have a weapon other than his knife. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move let's start slashing things up. Move into this room with 1 AP, and then we are going to use his air knife, which will only roll 3 die, to see if we can take care of some of the crap that's... so we got a bug and 2 saucer men in there. Can a bug... What do bugs do? Bug does 1 attack. 1 attack die. So they're not... The only thing is they can form in swarms and move all the way across the board, pretty much. So let's just go ahead and see what we got. Whoa. So that was not a success. This was a success, though. So we've got 1 successful hit here. So let's take out Saucer Man. Would have loved to have had an overkill there that would allow me to stun one of the other ones. But unfortunately don't have that. So that's AP number 2. AP number 3, we're going to take another attack. Try to lower the amount of... So we got just another hit here. Let's take this saucer man out of the equation. And that's all we're left with. So a little bit less going on here. That bug's going to take a nibble at the captain, but we still have that giant sentinel coming toward us. So let's move on to... Oh, that's right. Telepathy band was here. What does the telepathy band do? Because the... where are the discovery cards? There. Telepathy band. Use another Rocketeer's personal overkill option. I guess the captain can pick that up. Yeah, the AP system's actually kind of, especially when you're playing with multiple people and keeping track of everything. The other nice thing with the captain is that when he has an overkill, he can give other people extra AP actions that they can use at any time during that side. Use an extra AP action that they can use at any time during their turn. So it's easy to keep track of what needs to be done and what hasn't been used yet. Also gives them a little bit of personality because, like, the professor and the first officer their last action is a non-combat AP, but the chief has a force, like his last one is a combat AP. So yeah, we'll pick up that telepathy band. That could be useful. What else do we have here? So behind the sentinel is a time warp. which I believe is, re-roll any die on one dice roll. And we've got a proton blade in the sealed room with the elevator. It's an extra one. Oh, it does 6 dice. Re-roll 6 die. That could be interesting. All right. So let's move on to the aliens. The only 2 that can act are, because these thralls are behind a locked hatch, they can't go anywhere. This worm also cannot open hatches, thank goodness. These guys are behind a locked hatch, they can't open them. I think I moved on to... we'll keep the music as it is. I was digging the whole retro aesthetic, but I could only find the one track for it. So the Sentinel is the next. He will move into this square here. As soon as he moves into this square, he inflicts terror on all of panic on all of the Rocketeers, and sadly, with First Officer Annie Fletcher only having 1 oxygen left, I believe she's dead. which ends the whole thing. Oh, wait. Maximum 1 panic per game turn. She lost oxygen due to panic earlier. So, only the 1 panic. Because when we turned over this tile here, the aliens on this tile, it said mass panic. So, she does not panic. Thank goodness. We need to get rid of the Sentinel quickly, though, because we are out of either or that, or find more oxygen. So, that's lucky. And then he will attack with 4 die. And who moved earliest was the Chief, so he will be attacking the Chief. We have 1 success, so he will not get an overkill chance, so he's just going to do damage. So that's another damage to the Chief. And I believe that's all that happens. Yep. And the last one, the last thing that happens is the bug goes next. Obviously, he's in the square with the captain, so he's going to nibble on the captain. So he's going to roll 1 die. And unfortunately, has a big nibble on the captain and does 1 damage. All right. So now we reset. Door is no longer locked. AP resets. Orders resets. So we're gonna have to focus on taking some of these guys out now, because now that's a teeny little knob. We're really gonna have to focus on taking some of these guys out now, because we still have to scan. Like, we're forced to scan the other rooms. It's really going to start becoming difficult to deal with all of this. Let's see. Should go with first here. All right, let's activate. Let's activate our chief. First thing he has to do is he has to scan. Let's scan this tile over here. We have 2 saucer men and a bug. Also a impossible cube, which I have absolutely no idea what that does. Of course, it's wide open, but our captain can get an access to it. So 2 saucermen, and the bug actually does not come in out of that tile. He comes through the floor vent, and therefore is right here with the captain. Sweet. An impossible cube goes down there, and the impossible cube, what does the impossible cube do? What could the impossible cube possibly do? The Rocketeer rolls 5 dice. Successes may be spent on the Rocketeer's personal overkill option. Interesting. So it allows you to use the overkill multiple times, which would be extremely useful for the Chief right now, but he's a little bit far away. So let's go ahead and, for the Chief, let's go ahead and use his regular attack. With the ray gun, he's in range 1, so possibilities. A range of possibilities with the Impossible Cube. The Impossible Cube's icon as well looks like a tesseract of sorts. Oops, sorry, very shiny. So that is the Impossible Cube. So first so let's get the Chief firing. Damn. Only 1 success. Didn't give him anything extra, did I? Nope. So he'll take the 1 hit on the Sentinel. And let's go ahead and do another attack on the Sentinel. That's better. Okay, so we've got a 3 and a 1. So with 1 success, we will do 1 damage to the Sentinel, leaving him with only 1 more health. And the Chiefs, so the second one we will use on the Chiefs overkill option, which is to immediately inflict 1 free hit on any target who is in range and line of sight. So we're going to, since we can't do any of the ones that are in this room here because all the hatches are sealed, and even though the Chief technically has line of sight to these guys, they aren't in range. The ray gun only has a range of 2 squares, so we're going to blast one of these bugs out, and then we're going to use the last combat action for the Chief to fire 1 more time. Let's see if we can get rid of this Sentinel here. We certainly can. We got a 2, and we also got a 3 for an overkill option. So, bye-bye Sentinel. Thank goodness. And bye-bye Bug with the overkill option. So we cleared out the playing field just a little bit. But we still need 1 more wire to get out of here, and we need to clear out that elevator so we can go in and use it. We need everybody in there. And so far, all the thralls are just over here. All right, so next on the activation list, we are going to activate our Professor, who will scan this tile here, which contains another ray gun, and Thrall and 2 saucermen. They're updated here from the music is updated from the 50s to the 80s. So I was hoping this was going to be an easy tile. So we could run in and subdue a thrall and then get out, but unfortunately they've made it difficult for me. And so far there's nothing really good I'm going to be able to do. Well, let's see here. Let's move. Use the first AP. We're going to move. He's finished his scan. We're going to move the Doctor into this room. He's going to pick up the ray gun. Somebody's got 2 ray guns here, don't they? Yes, indeed they do. We're going to have to fix that. Picks up the ray gun, uses his next AP to shoot one of the one of the saucer men, because you can't shoot thralls. So that's a 5. No successes on that at all. And nothing I can do to fix that. So I think we're going to have to throw Long Lost Brother at when the attack happens. I think we're going to have to throw Long Lost Brother at the Saucerman. So the last action he's going to take is non-combat action. He's going to subdue the Thrall. So that's IQ roll. That's 5 dice. We have 2 successes, which is great, because we can now also rescue. So we use the first success to subdue the Thrall. He's gone. We now have the last wire we need in order to get the hell out of here. And then he's going to use the overkill to rescue a Thrall, and this rescue will be... Sorry, I forgot to put cubes on the Long Lost Brother, so I know how many times I can use them. We've got... Boy, I wonder what this does. Pick up 1 item per turn in an adjacent tile in line of sight. Which would be kind of useful if there was an object currently in line of sight, which there is not. So that's it for the Doctor. We now move on to... let's move on to First Officer. She's going to scan this tile down here, which has 2 Saucermen and a bug, also a force field belt. We are being overrun by Saucermen here. We are going to need to GTFO. And unfortunately, the bug is going to pop up right back underneath the captain. So, first action for First Officer is going to be to move into the same square as the captain and hand him one of the ray guns, because he didn't have one, which was kind of annoying. So that's our first action. Her second action is going to be to fire at... we need to get rid of these some of these saucer men here. At the saucer men... Oh, no. Let's go for the bug. It's right. He's right in the tile. Might as well get rid of him. We've got 3 successes. Beautiful. All right. So first is going to be the hit. Bug's gone. Now I get to decide what I want to do with the overkill actions. I couldn't use the bug's overkill because it just kills another bug in the same room. I believe in the same room, because otherwise I'll get rid of the other one. But yeah, range and LOS. So that's not happening. I can't get access to the bug in this room to kill it. So I still have 2 overkill options. I can use hit and run. I can take a free move action. Yeah, let's do that. Free move action into this tile. We're going to pick up the Impossible Cube. That's 3, which we're probably going to have to trade that to somebody else here, because I think that the chief's going to want it. We need to clear some stuff out. And then use the last one to move the hell out. Leaving her 1 non-combat AP, unfortunately. Which is going to have to be... We really need to get into this room to kill these things, to get them out. So let's open this, use her last AP to open this hatch, and hopefully The captain will have some good luck, and then we can get in there. Actually, she's also going to give the impossible cube over to the captain because this is going to be fun. Because the combined impossible cube and teleradio and telepathy band are going to be really useful right now. All right, so last but not least, once again, our captain who needs to make a scan. The two closest tiles are this one and this one, so we got an already. Yeah, I don't want more stuff to deal with down here. Let's do this one. Has one leader and two saucermen and a H2O tank. That was out of a thrall. I have to read that one. So we got a leader and two saucermen, which is unfortunate because he is going to move with them, and they can move two spaces, and they're going to start overwhelming our professor friend over here. I need to check this object here, this thrall tank, because it looks like I may have to. It may put a thrall on the. I'm guessing that it actually puts a thrall on that. I'm not too sure. Thrall O2 tank. I'm gonna have to check that one out, but I'm gonna leave it like that for now. All right. We are in a tight spot here. So, first action. Move into the elevator. Second combat action. We are going to use. We're going to do an attack in this square with the ray gun. Come on, overkills. No, we have whiffed entirely. Super whiff. Damn. All right. Last action. I got to do the same thing here. I have a plan, and I'm going to drop a die on the floor. Look, they got extras. Nope. Just the one hit. Not great plan. All right. So let's start using the hypercube. Hypercube, we're going to roll 5 dice. Successes may be spent on the Rocketeer's personal overkill options. I have 2 successes. So what I'm basically going to do here is I'm going to give the captain's AP. And I'm going to give 1 to our chief and 1 to the professor so we can GTFO. Yeah, the dice throw value, the successes are 1, 2, and 3 on a D10. So every die has a 30% chance of showing a success. I'm just going to reach for this one down here because it's purple. So, whoa. Dice Cam, you are drunk. Dice Cam just fell over. Oh, look, he's so tipsy. Come on, buddy. Ah, there we go. All right, you know what? We're going to use. We're near the end of this thing, so I'm going to use oxygen, one of the captain's oxygens, and we're going to go ahead and make another attack here. I really want to see if I can get a strafe going, and use the telepathy band. 3 successes. Perfect. 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 So we got yeah, and they're a little hard to see on the dice because they're clear and sparkly. And as soon as the light hits them, you can. The white ones I had to put away entirely. So we got 3 successes. So the captain's got a telepathy band. That means I can use the overkill option from another Rocketeer. So we're going to hit the Saucer Man here, and then we're going to use one of the cubes on the telepathy band, which is way over here. The telepathy band, we're gonna use that to use the Chief's Strafe option to inflict a free hit on any target in range. Oh. Oh, never mind. It has to be on an adjacent tile. So that actually isn't as helpful as I was hoping it was going to be. All right, so let's use it on first officer Annie Fletcher's um, ability, which is going to get her to move in here. And then we're going to use it again on First Officer Annie Fletcher's ability to move the professor slightly further out of range. So that does it for the telepathy band. And I think that does it for the turn in general. So now we have a very, very, very scary alien activation turn coming up. Oops, that's not. Here we go. Because we got a lot of aliens. Now, luckily, these 3 still are stuck. They can't move anywhere, but everybody else is free to go. And the first person who moves is going to be this leader, who unfortunately takes all of the saucer men that he has with him. This is not going to be good for the professor. So the leader will now attack with 4 dice. One success, which is good. It's just 1 damage. Well, good. Like, he's only got 3 hit points, so, and he's about to get attacked by a significantly large number of saucermen. All of the other saucermen. Eight of them are piled into the same space as the professor. Actually, we're gonna hold on to that hit point, professor. Actually, took it off the chief instead of the professor, and he's gonna put the long lost brother in front of him. He's gonna need him. So what we're gonna do here is, because all the saucermen roll with 2 die, I'm gonna roll all 4 pairs. Each one represents one. Each color represents one of the saucermen. So we'll do the 4 on the left first, and then the 4 on the right. All right, so pink, 1 success. White, misses. Purple, misses. Green, 1 success. So the long lost brother is toast, and the professor takes 1 damage. And then now the 4 thralls on the right. So, white, 2 7s, that's a whiff. Pink, 5 6, that's a whiff. Crap, purple, 3 2, that's a hit and an overkill. And green, 2 6, that's just a hit. So we got 2 hits, and the overkill for the Saucerman is Mind Control, which means that he loses 1 of his AP. So he's got 1 health left. Oh yeah, that's right. We got one last enemy to take care of, and that's the bug, who will be attacking the who acted last, the captain. So bug will take a 1 die swipe at the captain and miss. God, that just looks awful. Like, let's send the scientist. All right, but we have 6 wires. We have 6 wires. We know where the elevator is. We just need to get in there, get rid of the bug, and hit the elevator button, and then we're done. So let's reset the AP then, and take out the order assignments. Let's get the professor out of there. I think that's probably a very, very, very wise choice. We'll still need to do a scan first, so this tile will be scanned. The alien inside is 2 saucermen and a bug. The heat ray is in there. Heat ray is actually kind of useful, and it destroys the hatches. So heat ray goes in there, and we get 2 saucermen, and a bug comes out of the nearest vent, which is unfortunately in the elevator. Right, so AP number 1. AP number 2, we're going to open that hatch. And AP number 3, we are, which is the captain's AP that was discarded. We get inside the hatch with the elevator, and that's going to be the professor's turn. So now we got all 6 wires in the elevator. Next, now, does that elevator have to be empty, or can I just? There's a scenario. All Rocketeer must occupy the tile. No non-stunned aliens occupy the tile. Okay, so we got to get rid of. We have to get rid of the bugs in there before we can escape. All right. So next, I guess it will be the. Well, actually, this is actually pretty easy. So let's activate the chief. Next closest tile is here. We got 2 saucermen, a bug, and a time distortion, and the gravity wave generator. And there's a vent there, so the bug will come out there. And what does a time distortion do? Time distortion. All aliens immediately take a full move using their normal movement protocol. This event does not allow aliens to attack. Yay! This means this entire crowd comes here, but they stop because of the chief's location. These guys will move here. Well, actually, there's a hatch here. These guys can go through hatches. Well, it's a good thing they can't attack, because that's a fairly big... This is actually kind of realistic when you think about it. When our prisoners are escaping, like, it's not like just a couple of enemies that come after you. It's everybody. Well, everybody's here. Still haven't even used any AP yet. So, the first two... no, he can only use that once. He's got 3 AP. So the first AP, he's going to move into the elevator tile. Let's pick up this this blade here. So overkill. So the proton blade has 2 uses. We're going to use that as an attack. I roll 6 dice, and any overkills I can use to hit another enemy in the same tile. That'll do it. I got 3 successes, so that'll help me clear out all of these bugs. There's no proton blade there anymore. And with the final action, well, with the captain action, because he can't use the combat AP to push the button on the elevator. The captain action, we push the button on the elevator, and all of the Rocketeers escape. Whoo! That got a bit dicey. No pun intended. Really was not expecting this much alien movement in this game. Like, you really got to move pretty quickly. Like, this is ridiculous. Let's get close up cam a little bit closer here. That's nuts. Like, it's lucky these guys were trapped in this room here, because, like, look at that horde. If I had let another alien activation happen, they would all have jumped into the elevator, and it would have been necessary to either kill them or stun all of them in order to get the elevator moving. I'm gonna have to review the rules here. There may be limitations to the number of enemies in a particular tile that I missed. I was mentioning earlier, the rule book is very detailed, but doesn't contain any kind of index. So you basically have to scroll, like, flip through it in order to find out, find the information that you're looking for. Overall, though, I'm really enjoying. I really enjoy the theme of this particular game, not just the way it's implemented. It seems it is a little fiddly from of a component standpoint, with, like, the hatches and the little tokens, but it does make a lot of sense. I really and I kind of dig the whole 50s sci-fi aesthetic. I think that's pretty cool. I wish that the music had stayed there instead of getting really epic 80s action go all over all of a sudden. So anyway, that was Space Cadets. Hopefully we'll try to have a stream this weekend. It's going to be a little dicey. It is Pride here in Toronto, and I've got a lot of things on my plate, but a stream is definitely in the cards there. So keep an eye out for that. And thanks a lot for tuning in, Ash. Yeah, we'll play it sometime. We'll have you over. Probably we'll try a different scenario. Did I actually have absolutely no brain in the jars? There are brains in jars, like Saucerman, Saucerman. Nope, no brains in jars. Ah, what are you looking at? All right. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.